some pretty big legislation has been passed down under, as Australia has become the first country in the world to outright ban social media for under-16s. That means no Instagram and no TikTok, no Facebook. It's a move that is being predicted could well sweep the globe. Is that what we should be doing here in the United Kingdom? Let's speak to Arabella Skinner, who's the director of Safe Screens. Arabella, I must admit, I'm going to put my hat into the ring on this one. I've said for a long time social media is an absolute blight, well, especially on young plastic minds. They don't seem to be able to regulate themselves. They don't want to regulate themselves. It's impossible to be able to control, it seems, social media, and so I've got to the stage where I might just pull the plug on the lot of it. And so personally I would support this, but there are a lot of people out there who say surely actually young people should be brought up with full digital engagement, and it is up to these companies to face the full force of legislation when they fail to comply with regulations put in place to protect young people. Where are you on this?
I think we're very positive about the fact that Australia is actually doing something and they're leading the way. It's a good thing. The question will be around what is social media and can they actually make age verification work? You would hope that the incentive of doing this will force the tech companies to make age verification work. We know Ofcom did some figures yesterday which show that huge numbers of children are faking their age to get on these apps. And you have to think, for a technology business that can pretty much do everything, has R&D resources bigger than most countries, that if they put their mind to it, they could make sure age verification works. And that's absolutely, we need to be forcing tech to do these things. But as you say, Alex, there is no evidence of the issues around social media. There are some serious problems around social media and what it takes up in time, as well as what people see. So, for example, the WHO did a massive piece of work globally looking at problematic smartphone social media usage. And this is akin to addictional behaviour that you would look at if you were looking at people with alcoholism or elements like that. You know, do you wake up and it's the first thing you do? 20% of 11-year-old girls in England have problematic social media usage. I mean, that's mind-blowing. Firstly, 11-year-olds shouldn't be on social media because the age is 13. But would we ever accept children to have basically an addiction of that kind of magnitude?
Right. I mean, I see a lot of societal ills, whether it's grooming, whether it's the hypersexualisation of children, whether it's the cult of trans. All of these things, you wonder whether they would exist at the scale that they do were it not for social media platforms and their algorithms.
You're absolutely right. They pretty much wouldn't. When you look, the Met Police recently talked about the fact that we're looking at like 18% of arrests for counter-terrorism incitement are under 18s. It was 2% 10 years ago. And they have attributed that directly to social media and radicalisation because the conversations that children are seeing are that much higher. We know that when we look at what TikTok does with children with eating disorders, if you have an eating disorder, even if you're not liking things, you're just sort of lingering on things, within a couple of days, you're 4,000 times more likely to get toxic eating disorder videos. I mean, the fact there even are toxic eating videos on there is absolutely appalling.
Exactly. Arabella, it's been wonderful talking to you. Very quickly, let's just have a quick conversation about that. I'm for the banning. We haven't got long. I'm for banning social media for under-16s. You? I
just don't like to ban too many things, really. And do you know what? I'm old-fashioned. I think it's up to the parents. If children are under 18, which I guess is the definition of a child, it should be up to the parents to bring them up, not the state to dictate to the parents what their kids can and can't do when it comes to phones and social media.